took a little extra time, but they came through. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you have been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so. We're very close to 10,000 subscribers. It would be awesome if you could join us and turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. That way you are alerted when I drop a new video or I go live, whatever. Also, please hit the thumbs up button, drop your comments. Love to hear your thoughts and feelings about Knicks, the game, or anything I may have said. Whatever it is, join the party. Come into the Knicks-Verse. This is a good win. This is a good win. Karl-Anthony Towns could not play because of swelling in his right hand, which, as if you saw the previous game, it happened on a play where he banged his right hand against the backboard. Isaiah Stewart could have assisted the hand in smacking into the backboard itself. He didn't need an MRI or anything at all, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I got highlights for you guys. We're going to break this game down. This is a nice win for the New York Knicks. They went down to, MSG, MSG Mid-Atlantic. I don't know what you want to call it there, because there were so many chances for MVP, for Brunson, loud chance for Deuce. Even when Tyrese Maxey was going to take a free throw, I heard a loud crescendo of boos and trying to distract him. So Knicks fans are showing up, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. The New York Knicks went down to Philadelphia and beat the Sixers 125-119, almost the exact score from the previous game against Detroit, except it was Detroit who was on top. And this time it took overtime for the Knicks. They were looking great in that first half. They were playing with Karl-Anthony Towns, who sat out, and Jericho Sims got the start. We didn't see Hockporty at all. That could be some showcasing of Sims, because the rumors are out there that the Knicks are looking to move him, looking for a second-round pick, maybe maybe two, and possibly, who knows, maybe they might package him. But Nick Richards is off the board. He was traded today to the Phoenix Suns, so they'll have to look elsewhere. Valanciunas still seems like the guy that's being discussed, but I would not trade him at all. Well, actually, he's not making that much money, so we don't need to trade Mitch to get him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'll keep an eye on it for you guys. But this game was a pivotal win, especially after that tough loss to the Detroit Pistons, they're an up-and-coming team. So the Knicks have to watch out for those up-and-coming teams, those young athletic teams that can run all night long, because we know the Knicks are running on fumes, and they really are. So at this point, what can you do? Yes, did Josh Hart need to play almost 50 minutes tonight? Apparently he did. Anunoby, 44 and a half minutes. 43 and a half minutes for Brunson. No, actually 46 minutes for Brunson, 43 and a half minutes for Mikal Bridges. That's not going to help at all, the workload. But they do have some respite coming up soon. They're going to have, I think, a total of 4 days off next week, I believe. So hopefully that'll help recharge their batteries somewhat. But we're really going to have to wait for the All-Star break for our Wingstop trio to finally get a good break. But tonight, they pulled it out, they came through, and they had to do it with this man, Jalen Brunson, leading the way, the captain. 38 points, 16 in fourth quarter and overtime combined. Now, the Knicks did collapse in that second half. They basically allowed the Sixers to get back in the game and tie it up in that second half. They were outscored by 13, 62-49. But in overtime, the Knicks completely took over and won it 16-10. And that 10 really was kind of a gift a bit. Check this out. The Knicks did not miss a single shot in overtime. They hit all five of the free throws. Actually, that was Brunson who did that. Tipped the cap, and they hit all 5 of their field goals, including one three-pointer by Jalen Brunson. Outstanding. And I'll tell you, I'm down on Precious Achiuwa. I think his offensive package is incredibly limited for someone his size and athleticism, but he did come through. His athleticism actually won out. He made some crazy bucket off the off the backboard. I think that was the one he made in overtime. Outstanding. He got a key block. He did let Maxey blow by him, and it turned into a goaltending, which ended up tying the game, and that's what sent it to overtime. But at the same time, he could have, not contested it as strongly and allowed Maxey to have a nice clean look at a three, and that would have been the end of the game. So, you got to take the good with the bad at this point. And at this point, there was a lot more. There was just enough good to get us the victory. Fantastic Brunson night, 38 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 14 of 22. He only missed 8 field goal attempts, and he did receive MVP chance in Philadelphia, which, he should. Villanova's right there, man. All right, but Josh Hart was really the story of this game. Triple-double for this man. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns, the leading rebounder in the game, doesn't play. So what does Josh Hart do? He rebounds for 2. 17 boards for him, 12 dimes, 10 points, triple-double. I think this is the 7th triple-double of the season for Josh Hart. Tremendous game. Even though there's been discussion that maybe he should come off the bench, he'll still play as many minutes as usual, but maybe we have Deuce actually start in place of him. I have been weighing the pros and cons of that. Sometimes I lean with the group of, okay, starting Deuce might be good. Sometimes I don't. I haven't fully decided yet, but it's hard on a night like this to deny that Josh Hart is a pivotal piece for the Knicks moving forward. When he plays like this, the Knicks win. The Knicks win. I mean, 17 rebounds. Come on. And I think he had 4 steals. I believe he had 4 steals in this game as well. All right, let's keep going here. Josh Hart this season, shout out to StatMuse. First in rebounds by a guard, which we've talked about that a lot here. Second in double-doubles by a guard, which he got his 7th, I think, tonight. Fourth in triple-doubles. Triple-doubles, sorry. He got his 4th triple-double tonight. 4th in triple-doubles, which was his 7th tonight. Sorry, read that wrong. 4th in rebounds plus assists. Outstanding. This is just his season numbers. And then leading all players in rebounds since January 1st. I had no idea about the final one. Outstanding. Great job, Josh Hart. Big Nick Energy tweeted this out. It was basically like an aggregated retweeted post from Stephen Bondi, who of the New York Post. Tests on Karl-Anthony Towns' thumb revealed a bone chip in addition to the sprain, according to Stephen Bondi of NBA of the New York Post. Surgery isn't necessary, and the plan is for Towns to play with the chip. Now, Ian cleared up a little further. The bone chip in Karl-Anthony Towns' thumb, first reported by Stephen Bondi, didn't keep him from playing tonight. He was ruled out because of the thumb sprain. That was the swelling. That seems like good news for Towns and New York Knicks. Towns is day-to-day. Will presumably be back when he's cleared from sprain. Now, you might be asking, well, can you really just heal and recover without surgery from a bone spur? It is a bone chip, not spur. It is possible. It is possible. Just over time, if it's not a full split or a fracture or anything at all like that, he can over time. The problem is that he might continue to get hit on that hand, and it's the right hand, and it's a shooting hand, so you can't put too much around it. If it was his left hand, maybe, here and there. If he was one of these like purely low post guys, maybe, but he's a shooter. He's a three-level scorer. It's going to be interesting how this proceeds. I personally, I know I think we play the Timberwolves next. I personally would just give him at least another 3 games of rest or something. I'm just picking a number out of the sky. I think he should get some decent amount of rest so that bone spur and the sprain fully heals, so that even when he gets smacked on it again, it doesn't immediately cause instant just radiate pain throughout his body. I mean, if you watch the game against Detroit, you can see this guy was a trooper. I mean, calling him soft is an embarrassment for anybody, and I'm embarrassed because I think I may have even called him soft in the past. He has proven that he is completely otherwise. He's a trooper. He will probably want to play no matter what. But I think we have to manage his minutes. We have to rest him. We have to make sure that when he's back, he doesn't injure that hand further or worse. So keep an eye on that. Then I tweeted this out during this game specifically. I can't wait for Mitchell Robinson's return. He forces teams to play differently. That can't be measured by stats. He needs to be healthy, though. That is everything I said there is exactly what I feel. And if you guys, I'm sure Knicks fans, you've been watching him the whole time, you know the impact that he has. He is able to guard multiple players on a possession. He's able to disrupt perimeter, the paint, the rim protection is outstanding. He does on the offense, does limit the space itself. However, what we gain on defense is tremendous. It, like I said right there, it forces, in the second sentence, it forces other teams to play differently. And what happens when you force other teams to play differently? They play not to their strengths. They play to their weaknesses. Now, if it's a team that is just an outstanding three-point shooting team, that's a whole other story. Those are the Bostons of the world. I think the Cleveland, those kind of teams like that. But when it comes down low, this man is right there to punish them. So here's the thing. We need to get him back. There's no doubt about that. But he's going to need to be healthy for him to have a real impact in terms of winning with this team. I think the Knicks are handling this correctly. Because if they had forced him back, rushed him back, and he got re-injured, season would be lost. So they are trying to guarantee that he is as healthy as possible before he actually his sneakers touch the NBA court in a real NBA game. So, I can't wait to see him back. I miss him so much. We need that rim protection right now. And if you noticed, Sims started tonight and Porty did not play. So they're showcasing Sims. They're showcasing Sims because they are definitely considering moving him. Deuce, tonight, off the bench, as Knicks win in Philly, 13 points. Shout out to New York basketball. 4 of 5 field goals, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. That's huge because he has been struggling of late. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. A huge steal he had in regulation. He did not play in overtime. I would have gone with him in overtime over Precious. Now, Precious ended up giving us some good quality minutes in overtime, but he's incredibly frustrating to me. He has no offensive package whatsoever. He basically scores off of his pure athleticism, which is outstanding. But on the defensive end, there's no doubt that the man makes an impact, a positive impact. But when you play small, you cannot have a weak offensive player on the court. That is the problem with him. So now he can't shoot the three. So somehow the team has to figure out how to unlock this guy offensively. Because defensively, he definitely gives you some quality minutes, even though he did get blown by Tyrese Maxey in that last possession there to tie the game. So that's that. Would I package Precious and somebody else to bring in a big who can give us rim protection and shoot a three? Absolutely, 100%. But there are very few guys like that are available right now. So the front office is in a tough spot. We'll see what they do. But they have about 3.5 weeks to figure it out. Let's see. All right, we got the stats right here. But before we get to that, what do we always do? We go to the highlights. All right. Here we go. The Knicks got off to a really nice start during this stretch here. They basically took over. They were up by 9 by the end of this first quarter. They lit them up for 30 points, only allowed 21. Sixers started off incredibly cold from the three-point line. They shot 1 of 3, 11.1%. Meanwhile, the Knicks were scorching hot from the three-point line. 5 of 8, 62.5%. They shot 54.5% overall from the field. Got 11 rebounds, 8 dimes during that first quarter. But I'll tell you, Sixers had 10 rebounds and 7 dimes. So they were trying to stick right with us, except they just couldn't make their threes. If they had made some threes, this game would have been really close in that first quarter. And that's something you always have to look at. Is it a team missing threes, or is it the Knicks guarding that perimeter line, the perimeter well? in this case, I think they were just the Sixers were just missing. That's what it looked like to me. Okay, there was a play where Precious scored beautiful right there in the second quarter, off the dribble. A layup there, not off the dribble, layup there. Precious, that was his only bucket he had in the second quarter. Mikal Bridges played the entire second quarter. 6 points for him. He finished a +4. Cam Payne came in and gave us some nice minutes as well. He had 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. 6 points for him. Tyrese Maxey, he had a tough night tonight, and he played the entire second quarter as well. The Knicks ended up winning the second quarter 30-26. They were a +4 there, so they went into the half up 13. At that point, I said, you know what? I'm going to start making dinner. I'm going to barbecue my salmon. Get some asparagus out there, because I feel like I can just pause. I feel like this is going to be a casual second half. I'll be able to enjoy while I'm eating dinner and enjoy the second half where the Knicks blow the Sixers out. Did not happen that way at all. At all. In the second half, the Knicks were outscored by 13. Knicks could only put up 49 points in that second half, while they allowed the Sixers to put up 62 points. Sixers shot 9 of 16 from the 3-point line in that second half, 56.3%. That's a tough number to overcome, while you're shooting only 29.4%. And a lot of that was, Josh Hart 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Brunson 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. OG Anunoby at least gave us two made 3-pointers, but it took 6 shots for him. Those were the only buckets he made in that second half, though he did get to the free throw line. He gave us 2 points there. But Jalen Brunson was outstanding in that second half himself, other than the 3-point shooting. He gave us 19 points, shot 60% overall, but only 1 assist in that second half. He was there we go. Tyrese Maxey, man. Speaking of Tyrese Maxey, he lit us up for 25 points in that second half. We're at this third quarter. So now we're up 11. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then the Sixers began a nice run right here. I believe in that third quarter, there's a bug around here. The third quarter, they went on a tremendous run. I think they went on like a 12-2 run at one point in a 2.5-minute stretch to get this game to a tie going into the fourth quarter. Paul George. Paul George was he had a weird game, though. He played the entire third quarter along with Kelly Oubre. Paul George provided 11 points, 5 of 8, 1 steal, 1 assist. Did commit a turnover, but his offensive output was pivotal in this game, along with, especially in the third quarter, along with Tyrese Maxey, who gave 13 points right there. Sixers scored 38 points in that third quarter, and they ended up tying the game at the buzzer. It was 87-87. Knicks come into the fourth quarter. Nice little bounce pass to Oubre. Now remember, no Embiid. Jared McCain gone, the super rook. I think they're down some other players. I can't remember who else they're missing, but they did have Paul George tonight. They did have Tyrese Maxey. Oops, there we go. Who was that? Oh, Justin Edwards. Interesting player, the Kentucky guy. Not sure how we missed out on signing him. He was an undrafted player. He's the exact kind of guy, Kentucky Wildcat guy. You would have thought he would have gotten a chance with us, Knicks, but the Sixers beat us to him. So here we are. We got about 4 minutes left. Actually, 3.5 minutes. We're up only 1. It's 199. Brunson comes through beautifully. That magic left hand of his. Tyrese. Oh, look at that. And that's Edwards again. Buries another 3. Damn, Edwards was 2 for 2 from the 3-point line in the fourth quarter. This was a tremendous play right there, that moment. Nice little steal by Josh Hart. Definitely needed that. He had 2 steals in the final quarter there of regulation time, along with his 3 steals and 3 assists. OG Anunoby, the biggest bucket he hit right there. It's the only bucket he hit in the fourth quarter. Knicks are now up 5 with 40-something seconds to go, but Tyrese Maxey. Just unstoppable. He hit that bucket. I think he got the and one. So now we're coming in here. Brunson hits this bucket, so it's now 109-105. But, I hate how they do these highlights. There was a steal that happened, which is why the situation was allowed. See that? So that was the goaltending. That was Tyrese blowing past pressures, as I mentioned before. The goaltending. But now we go to OT. Actually, no, this is right before OT. OG gets the final shot in regulation time, which I think was really interesting. But then he also gets one of the first shots in overtime. Delivers that dunk. He was 2 for 2 in the overtime, 4 points for him. And Jalen Brunson just started taking over. He finished with 8 points. 5 of those points came at the free throw line, just by the way. 2.5 minutes. Those were the first points, I believe, that Philly scored in that overtime with just 2.5 minutes left. That's what I mean. The Knicks were just dominating in that overtime. Here we are, a minute or so left. Knicks are up 9 here. Little steal. Nice little alley-oop to Mikal Bridges. And that was Josh Hart's, was that his 13th assist, I believe it was. Look at that, another rebound, 17 rebounds. He was just all over the place. This was a beautiful Josh Hart game. This game proved why Josh Hart might be, he should have some consideration for All-Star. He should. He won't make it on the team, but he should get a nod or two. He's a unique player. He does everything a team needs on the court, on both ends. I like that he was looking for his shot tonight at times, even though he did not even attempt a shot during the overtime. But tonight, 4 of 9 from him, but he did miss all 3 of his 3-point attempts. He's got to get that going again. All right, let's go to this. All right, so this is the box score of the whole game. As you can see, the Knicks shot 43.2% from the 3-point line, 53.5% overall. Those are crazy sick numbers, guys. I feel like we've gotten a little complacent about these numbers in individual games. There were times Knicks never shot like this. For long stretches, for years, it felt like. This is maybe a couple games where they're, subpar, but lately, actually, the team has been subpar from the 3-point line. But tonight, they totally picked it up. 16 of 37, 43.2%. The free throw line, though, was a little disturbing for them. They have been tremendous of late. They only shot 70.8%, but they did pick up 15 offensive rebounds, 30 defensive rebounds, 45 total rebounds for them. Beautiful, and 28 assists. Now, it took 5 additional minutes in overtime to get up to this number, 28, which they're averaging about 27 or so for a game for the season. That should have been up in the 30s tonight. But they were moving the ball. There were times where there were 7 passes before a Knick attempted a shot. Outstanding tonight in terms of ball movement, and you have to keep the ball moving, especially when you're a shorter team and you're missing, one of the most dominant forces in the paint and on the perimeter around, which is Karl Anthony Towns. You have to try to figure out how to score in other ways, and by keeping the ball moving and cutting and looking for the other guy. The picks that were being set tonight, solid picks. I can't even remember. Maybe there was one offensive foul call on the screen. Beautifully done tonight. They did commit 13 turnovers, which is not bad for an overtime game, actually. That's not bad at all. 3 blocks, 10 steals tonight. That is beautiful right there. Let's look at the Sixers here. Paul George finished with 26 points. Tyrese Maxey, 33 points. They only got 8 steals. We got 10. Okay, good. I'll take that. They did hit all 14 of their free throws at the free throw line. They shot 50% and still lost this game. Let's go back to this. All right, here you can see him in a different format here. So Precious, 10 points for him tonight in 30 minutes of play, along with his 6 rebounds. He did pick up 1 assist. But Deuce McBride, 13 points for him tonight in 22 minutes of play. Beautifully done. 4 of 5, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. His three-point shot seems to be returning after that hamstring injury. He had been struggling. He was shooting in like the 20s. But for the season, he has been one of our best three-point shooters, and he's been the most consistent. He has been the bench in terms of points production for the New York Knicks. Cam Payne comes in and gives you some points here and there, but you can't depend on that every night. You can depend on his energy to come out and, you know, at least eat up some minutes, play some decent defense. But in terms of his shooting, he's helter-skelter. You know, so tonight he was 2 of 4, excellent in 7 minutes of play, but Deuce ended up with 13 points in his 22 minutes of play. And here we go. 10 points for Josh Hart. As I mentioned before, his triple-double, 17 rebounds, 12 assists for him. He was the only one in double figures with rebounds tonight for the Knicks. And we needed every single one of them. Jericho Sims, I haven't talked much about him. He had 8 points and 7 rebounds in his 23 minutes of play. He looked good. He looked like somebody who's worthy of a couple of second-round picks, to me. If you're the type of team that doesn't depend on a completely spread-out offense, because there are teams like that, he would fit in beautifully for them. And also, his rim protection is very high level rim protector right now. But the minutes are a concern. Now, it's hard to complain in an overtime game, but 43 minutes for Mikal, 45 for OG, same for Brunson, and 49 for Josh Hart. That is going to catch up with these guys. It already has. We've already seen it. You know, what can we do? I mean, Thibs only went 8 deep tonight. So he's missing arguably his best player, Karl Anthony Towns, and he only goes 8 deep tonight. Like, where was Hawk Porty? You know, how about Matt Ryan? How about Shamet? Where was Shamet tonight? This is the stuff that's freaking me out. Because I see the writing on the wall, and you guys know I was crying about it 6 to 8 weeks ago, and I felt like an asshole actually complaining about it back then. But here it is. We're here now. This is only the 3rd victory in the past 8 games for the Knicks, and I think a lot of it is the minutes, guys. I just do believe that the rotation needs to be expanded. The bench guys need to have their chance to fail and to learn and to improve. They need to create a cohesion, and Thibodeau needs to figure out, how to blend these guys into the rotation, so it doesn't immediately turn into a 12-point run for the opponent. That's on the coaches and the players. But I feel like the players want to do it. They just need to be given the chance to do it. All right. The plus minus, interesting here. Bridges +3. OG was a -2. Sims is a -3. Brunson a +7. Josh Hart led the team with a +10 tonight to go along with his 10 points, and it shows. He was the impact player of this game tonight. Even though Brunson ended up with 38 points, I would give the player of the game to Josh Hart tonight with 10 points, 17 rebounds, and 12 assists for him. And he played some really good defense. But shout out to Precious Achiuwa. He finished a +9, even though I have major issues with his offensive package. His defense showed up tonight, and he gave us just enough offense to get us to the W. Beautiful. All right, here's the Sixers. We talked about this. George, 26 points for him. Maxey, 33. Eric Gordon got the start, 14 points for him. Kelly Oubre. Oh, yeah, they're also missing Kyle Lowry. They're missing a lot of guys. Oubre hit 16 points for him. Justin Edwards, the Kentucky guy, unsigned, undrafted. 35 minutes, 10 points for him. Nicely done. Team stats here. What's of note here to look at? Oh, I know what I want to look at. This is what I want to look at. So, point in a close game. Ended up being a close game because at one time the Knicks did have a decent lead. Knicks once led by 16. And the Sixers have never led this whole game. Knicks led by 16. There were 5 times that they were tied. The longest run was an 8-0 run. It was actually, well, yeah, I guess 8-0. There was a 12-2 run for the Sixers. So the Knicks plus 10 in rebounds, plus 1 in assists, plus 3 in stocks, steals, and blocks combined. The turnovers, they were -1, but they were very negligible turnovers. Only 12 for the Sixers, 13 for the Knicks in an overtime game. That's really low. That means these guys protected the ball. The Knicks shot 53.5%, 50% for the Sixers, 43.2% for the Knicks from the three-point line, 37.1% for the Sixers. And the free throws, 70.8% for the Knicks, 100% for the Sixers. But the Knicks went to the free throw line a lot more than them. But when you look down at the fast break points, 18-13. When the Knicks win the fast break points, the Knicks win. We've seen it time and time again. Their transition defense was a little better tonight, but it's definitely been an issue for the Knicks. Definitely was an issue against the Pistons. And that was the reason that the Pistons were able to pull that game out, was our poor transition defense. All right, I think we've covered everything that needs to be covered here. Thank you guys for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me, turn on the notification bell on YouTube so you get alerted, and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about the Knicks and this game or anything I may have said, and share the video if you care. Care to, I would really appreciate that. Friday, I do believe, let me just confirm 100%. I did say it was Minnesota, but I am pretty sure it is. Yep, we play Minnesota at MSG. It will be the return of Julius Randle to the Garden. That should be a sight to see. All right, I will see you on Friday. All right, the Knicks-Verse. Let's fucking go.